The Pirates played some inspired baseball to hurt the Reds' playoff chances, and Paul Skenes is clearly the best pitcher on the planet. We'll talk about that and the rest of the Pirates rotation, what it means for 2026, as well as a new ABS system that is coming. You're listening to the North Shore Line podcast presented by FanDuel. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9 Live. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Ty, and as is tradition, no Jim. So, how you doing, Ty?
Every time I see that intro, I see me just using the chapstick, and I just remember how addicted I am to chapstick. I don't know why that came to my mind as I watched it again. I'm like, man, every time I just see me applying chapstick.
Yeah, that's funny. I guess I didn't even myself notice that. So,
but yeah, how are you tonight?
Make a new intro for you, Tyler? Are you feeling some type of way, or are you good with it?
Oh no, I keep that thing on.
I just want to make sure I know how addiction is. I mean, if it's it's a problem to see it every show.
We're just a regular moisturizer guy today.
All right. The lips are looking kind of sexy though. I'm doing well. Well. Pirates lost, but they took 2 out of 3 from the Reds, and the Reds are trying to get into the playoffs. So that's good. I mean, we don't have much to really hang our hats on with the Pirates in September, typically. So you kind of want to play spoiler, if anything, to salvage some hope and happiness, right? And the Pirates kind of did that. Now, obviously, the Mets didn't carry their weight and help out. So the Reds are still kind of there. But the Pirates took 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati. So that was kind of fun.
It was. And thankfully, I got to do the 2 post games that ended positively for the Pirates, and also just kind of put a boot to the Reds a little bit, which I always do enjoy. Just, burying any professional Ohio team, I'm all the way in on. Notice I said professional. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Man, just watching those games though, I miss that stuff. Like, I miss the intensity of it. I miss how engaged the fans are. I miss caring about every out. I miss the games mattering.
I miss baseball's musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. As Pirates fans, you got to experience that for less than a handful of times. And, those were fun. So again, on the opposite end, it's kind of fun to experience the intensity of trying to take someone out of the playoffs. And, I will say this, and the other one brought up, you want to talk about this essentially, but the Pirates play some pretty intense baseball. I mean, Don Kelly as a manager also is kind of pushing all the buttons here to most levels of hey, this kind of matters. Let's do what we can to get them out of here and win these games. And I liked what I saw from the Pirates. Now, the problem is you need more than 3 games a year of that type of baseball, right? That's kind of the problem. So, let's have this team maybe inspired for 162 plus. Shout out to an old Pittsburgh Clothing Company t-shirt. But, more than 3 games is kind of what you need here. So, but at any rate, we were given those 3 games, and I did like what I saw out of the 2. I didn't really get to see today's game, but I liked what I saw out of the 2. And what I think I saw and heard of from the 3rd. Right, although that Marte catch was ridiculous. Yeah. Oh my God.
But man, even that.
Yes.
I agree. Imagine being on the other side of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. That's why October baseball is so fun. That's why it's one of the best postseasons of all professional sports. It's just so intense.
Yeah.
Every single pitch matters. The umpire misses a call by an inch and you lose your crap. It's enjoyable. That's why we're baseball fans.
It's exciting.
Yes, it's so exciting. Instead of me sitting there trying not to watch TikTok and watch recipes on my phone while the Pirates are playing because I'm bored. Because it's another 4-0 loss or a 1-0 loss. Sorry. Like every pitch mattered. We saw it a few times throughout the year. Like I mentioned the Philly series earlier in the year where you could see the fans engaged like that again. Like I just miss that, man. Like I want to feel that again.
Right. But like you said, you're engaged in the game, whether you're on the winning side, the losing side, whatever. Like you were completely engulfed into the baseball game, and it mattered. And yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, like going back to that Marte one, that catch. I mean, geez, when that ball come off Reynolds' bat, and the moment. I mean, they're down 2-1. That's ultimately going to tie the game, and now the Pirates, of all things, right? I mean, this team can't come back in the ninth inning. They're going to come back and tie it. And potentially, like, that's how they're going to come back and crush the Reds, hopes and dreams and beat them into extras after they're up 2-0. They were the anti-Skenes on this side. Like, they had the 2-0 lead and they almost blew it. And yeah, Reynolds hits the ball and like just the sound, like, oh my God. And you see Marte going back and it's like, oh my God, it's going to happen. And Marte put that. So it reminded me of Griffey and Little Big League, how they just crushed the Twins' hopes and dreams. That was the other end, like that helped the Griffey and the Mariners at that point, right? That helped the Reds. I mean, what a moment. There's still hope. The Mets are still slipping away. We're still in this. If we get swept, it's not looking so good. 1 out of 3, there's still at least hope. And what a catch. Like one catch saving potentially their season. That was it.
It was, but I mean, like, I couldn't even help it. I hate the Reds. I hate Cincinnati. I don't want them to win anything. Even I couldn't help but like crack a little bit of smile, just like watching it. It's hard not to appreciate those moments.
Oh, right.
It really is, even though it's against the Pirates. Like just watching it, it's.
But to your point, April 13th, nice catch. Today, right, in this environment, right now, that's a moment. Now, it's not once playoffs comes, those get heightened, but like that's a moment, especially if this team goes into the playoffs. I mean, Reds fans, the media, like they'll be talking about that catch. That catch got them there. That was a season-saving catch, essentially. It's a moment.
It is. It like Russell Martin hitting that home run against the Brewers in 2014. That was a moment, and that's like one of the last big moments at PNC Park that I remember in the regular season. That was 11 years ago.
Yeah. Wait. Was it 11? I guess it was 11, huh?
Yeah, it's 2025. It was 2014.
Jeez.
Right, but
it's one of those things where it seems less, but also like a lot longer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my head around how long it actually has been. Like, okay, that's the problem. Because I want to be like, oh, it was like 6 years ago, but it's like, no, it's been like 12, 13, it's been a while.
Martin's like 45 now.
Right. So yeah. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, right. It would be nice to reclaim some of those moments and have some of those moments again for your own team and not watching other teams do it. Like the Cubs celebrating on your field because they go in the playoffs, and Marte catching that one that ultimately maybe saves their season, gets them into the playoffs, and but hey, at least they took 2 out of 3. Can't complain too hard in this series.
No,
but
you can't. But and just to go back to Don Kelly getting them, I mean, he got them up for the series, and the team obviously was engaged in the series. You mentioned like being able to do it over 162 game stretch. The problem is they're just not talented enough to be able to do that 162 games. Like the intensity only takes you so far. It's hard to get motivated like that 162 times.
Maybe, but also, when you're winning and fighting for something,
very fair.
Right? When you're out of it essentially on May 1st, now you have a whole rest of the season. And that's something I want to talk about. Maybe not today, but yeah, I mean, it's in general. But yeah, like it's tough. And again, like if you want to blame maybe some of their levels, I guess to kind of piggyback a little bit of like what they're talking about on the post game today, about like when Pham and Kutch talk about like this team's kind of buying into the hitting and such, and they're hitting well and now they haven't. I guess it's kind of one of the things that's just like I want to lose weight. I want to work out. I want to lose weight, right? Just like Brian Reynolds is going to tell you, I show up to play every single day. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like, I show up, I play, I'm in it. I'm not here going through the motions, right? I want to lose weight. I want to get back in shape. It works for 2 weeks. You know what happens then? You just fall back into your ways. And like we've talked about with this team going way, way back, like complacency and how much is losing just really killing. You know what I mean? It's just like that's kind of how I look at a lot of this stuff. You can go to Ono Cruises, like just go down the list or whatever. But it's like, how much is that really affecting this? Like, because it's just like, well, you know what, guys? It's July. It's
Right.
it's August. It's September. We know what it is. We're out of it. We're just back in our ways. Like I want to win. I tell myself I'm showing up every single day, right? I tell myself I'm going to go out for a walk or a jog or whatever. I tell myself I'm not going to go get this type of food and eat better, right? But then Tuesday happens. It's like, well, I don't know. Those 2-for-1 drinks look pretty good.
I mean, just to put it in simpler terms, I tell myself every day going into work, you know what? I'm going to do a lot today. Today's a day I'm going to bust my tail. And a lot of
Right.
times I do and work hard, but there are days where it's just like, man, I don't have it today.
Yeah. Right. So imagine, I know it's hard to really relate work to like their work in this
But
sense because
but it's like being in a toxic environment every day. Like I'm going to
yeah,
fix it today. And then eventually it's just, there's not much more I can do here.
you're just defeated and you just go through the
Right.
motions. Even though you tell yourself to wake up every day and do it. But again, we're kind of going off topic here, but it was nice to not see that happen, right?
Right.
There was a reason to play, and it seemed as if this team was ready to play. If it was just at least like, hey, these are the Reds, these are our rivals, there's a chance to get in there, let's crush it, right? Like there's nothing else to play for this year right now. There's 6 games left, 3 of them against the Reds. Next is Atlanta, the Braves. They're not playing for anything. So like, let's treat this as like our playoffs, I guess. Let's at least get inspired. Let's go ahead and get them out. Let's crush them. Let's do that. And they did. And I felt like from top to bottom, even the way Don Kelly managed, he managed like he was going to win that game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He sure did. He pretty much just blew the entire bullpen last night.
Right.
He was throwing it all at the wall to get that win. And
Yep.
I mean, even just throwing Skenes 6 innings alone. Like I didn't think that was going to happen last week. I don't know if we talked about it on the air or maybe just privately, but I think we all were kind of in agreement that Skenes would maybe just go get a few innings and that would be about it. No, they went after it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I love it. But also, it's going to be an off season. There's going to be changes, but it's an opportunity to kind of build off of something. And you were able to get them to a point where there's something to build off of. It wasn't just mail it in. Let's go on vacation. We're a week out from being done. We know how it is. Like when you're almost done with something, I'm going to mail this thing in. It doesn't matter what happens. They didn't. They did not
You
mail
mean
it
like
in.
how we almost had one host for the post-game show today?
To be fair, the rain delay.
You know how it is when you're about to end something, you just mail it in. Yeah. No, anyways, but you're right.
No, thank you, Nathan. Nathan stepped up big today. He stepped up like
Yeah,
the
and
Buccos
also
did.
kudos to Nathan.
And
Now, again, like
kudos
he's
Nathan and Cody.
killing the service time. I'm pissed. I'm absolutely pissed. The call-up was supposed to happen next year.
No, we're past that rookie cutoff. We're giving him a little bit of time.
I don't care. No. The point was to call him up next June 1st. And then we're doing it in September. It's BS.
Yeah, we did burn some service time.
BS.
We're gonna have to trade him a year earlier now.
I told him already. I was like, welcome to Talking Yanks in 2030. I can't afford to keep you for the 2031. Not now.
Yeah, now you're gonna be a Super 2 guy.
Yeah. He said, we'll do something else beside the Yanks. I mean, hey, though, best offer wins. I can't help it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna depend on the prospects at that point.
Right.
It's a business. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Speaking of mailing it in, back to the show. But you're right. You're right. And going back to the Skenes thing, like, yeah, like I felt like, so that's why I said earlier a little bit, like they pushed the buttons, almost all the buttons to the extreme, but there was some limitations. Like I felt like it was good seeing him go 6 right? This wasn't the he's been on like I mean it's five and outs for Paul
Mhm.
Skenes. You go 5, you're coming out. You go 5, you're coming out. And I didn't know what they were going to do with this being his last start. I know last year with the Yankees he pitched 2, and that was it for him. I don't know if I envision that happening, but is this also going to be like it's the last start? I mean, whatever. Here's your 5, come out. Is it like, hey, here's your last start? Let's go the distance. What is it going to be? I don't know. And it seems as if it's like they kind of played in the middle. There was still like a cap because he got pulled after 6. Now, if this was a normal environment, he could have gone 7. But the fact that he went 6 and not 5 made me feel like let's push it a little bit. I mean, you're pitching outstanding. Let's give you the other one because we want to beat this team without pushing it too much. So I'll
And
give them that.
you know what, Donardo? And the other thing about it was they didn't play to awards or some sort of like historical stat with Paul Skenes, and we're about to get
Mhm.
into that, but they easily could have pulled Skenes after 5 there, preserve that under 2 ERA.
They could have done that after 4.
Historical, absolutely historical would have been.
Yeah.
And I don't
As
know if
soon as
there
he
would
got
have
under
been many.
2, that's a good point.
I don't know if there would have been many complaints about it because you could argue that what's the point in throwing him right now? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Partially, I think Don Kelly and the Pirates do deserve credit for that, and also I think Paul Skenes deserves credit for that because the dude's the ultimate competitor. You saw him in the dugout, like, throwing his arms up in the air. No pit stains like Livy. We're good. But
What was that tweet I saw today? I guess that's why they call it Pittsburgh.
but no, like
But
you
yeah.
saw it from the Pirates, you saw it from Skenes. Like that's what you can build on.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I guess. In the grand
It's
scheme
a
of
lot of
things,
work to do.
hugely disappointing season. I don't know if you're going to take 3 games in Cincinnati and say this is what we can build on because there's a lot more other stuff that's just like, yeah, whatever. But again, they got inspired, they played good baseball, and yeah, you can hang your hats on it, especially if the Reds don't make it. Hey, I did that. Hey guys, you know what? This was a playoff caliber team playing at home. We know we're capable of. This is what we did. Yeah, go in the next year. Obviously, we need some improvements, but again, like for the players, for the people that are there, for the things that you can control, right? We show that. I mean, Hunter Green was up there. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So, we beat him.
You also see again, I go back to the intensity of it, go back to the moment of it. Some guys got an opportunity to play in a big game and win a big game. I know it's a regular season game. It's not really big for the Pirates, but the moment can get away from you a little bit there. It didn't. Like they had an opportunity to do some of that. A lot of young guys played in it. A lot of young guys made some mistakes, or even some old guys made some mistakes, O'Neal Cruz. But you got a chance to do that. So maybe go into the offseason and think, hey, I want to do more of that. And everybody wants to do more of that, but they got to feel it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do want to go back to. I didn't think about that aspect of it. That's a really good point about Skenes again. Like he was under 2 and they could have pulled him. They pushed. They were going for the win there. So yeah, I guess more credit needs to be deserved for that because they very easily. I mean, that's the Pirate way. This is like, hey, this is a headline. This is a marketing tool. He's under a 2 ERA. Get him out of here, right? If they're able to do that, which he did, right? If he gave up runs in the first, that's out the window, and then whatever. But it's like, hey, he gets under 2. Let's just get him out of there. They went for the win. They went for the throw. But yeah, back to your point here about the Reds and stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, they sure that can certainly happen. What I also did think was funny though, as you mentioned it, there was a key trade this year that happened that's going to have some impact on 2026. And that was Brian Hayes going over there. So yeah, to see him basically into like a situation like, guys, we got to win. So maybe we should bench Brian Hayes. Was kind of like, okay, that's refreshing. Now, ultimately, I thought was funny though is there was a defensive play that happened at third base, which might have allowed the Pirates to win. And that's we look and say, well, maybe that's why Key is still valuable. So I did find the irony in both of those situations because the Reds made an ultimate choice of like, let's not play Cabrian Hayes now because we need to win. And then ultimately having someone else at third base might have cost them the W. So
You forgot the
yeah,
part where he
like
got
there's
pinch
still
hit.
value in Cabrian Hayes, people.
You forgot the part where they pinch hit Miguel Andujar for him.
That is true.
Oh, his brother was probably so mad.
Anywho, but you talk about the pitching, and I think one of those players you mentioned, like being in the moment, the big spot. I mean, there was a guy that was called up. Hunter Barco made his debut, and we did know that he's basically been a reliever in the minors. You know, he's coming off the Tommy John. He's had very limited innings since returning. So, you know, like they're going to watch those innings. They've been already watching them in the minors. So you kind of knew the deal when he comes up here. He's going to be in the bullpen. That's what he did. It was just one inning. And I liked your argument, your take, you know, like that could have got away from him. I had no problem going one as well because it looked shaky. It is his debut. One, done. You got out of the inning, move on. But that was a big moment. I mean, you're thrown right into the fire. As big as the moment could be in that type of a game, like we're talking about, they were out there trying to win it. They're trying to ruin their chance at the playoffs. Hunter Barker goes right into the fire there, and he got out clean. Didn't look pretty, didn't look bad, but he got out of it.
He did. Hopefully we see a little bit more of him as this end of the season comes. I mean, there's some stuff to like about him. Obviously, there's a reason he's ranks pretty highly as a prospect. He's not quite the upside of some other guys. Like, I use Braxton Ashcraft as an example. I am very, very high on him. I love the stuff. Barco's a little more pitchability type. A fastball works if he locates well. He's got a good, really good changeup, splitter, whatever you want to call it. Slider, I think, needs some fine tuning for sure. I don't like where that's at right now personally, but I'm not the smartest guy in the room at all times. Notice I said it at all times.
You love to tell us that, by the way.
Not at all times, I'm not, but I don't know. Like, he's exciting. It's another arm this team has that, at the very least, he looks like he's a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Like the stuff is going to play enough to be able to throw at the Major League level in a starting role, I think. I like what they did with him. I like the fact that he's up right now. It's not like he's a 21-year-old that's you're kind of pushing a little heavily, and he's 24. Like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And you got some injury concerns there. Maybe he does end up in a bulk type of role, but I don't know. He's one of them wait and see kinds of guys for me. Like I'm not all the way there with him yet.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, he's certainly talented. And he's part of the reason we talk about how this team has a lot of depth. And it's not just depth as if like, hey, here's a guy who is a pitcher. It's depth as in the sense of like there's a lot of talented arms. Really, really talented arms. You already have Paul Skenes. You see Bubba Chandler, especially lately, right? Mitch Keller, we know what he has. But Braxton Ashcraft as well. Now, today wasn't the prettiest, but from what it looked like, he got kind of babied as well. But ultimately, like he's looked very effective this year. There's Oviedo who's looked pretty effective this year. There's also Burrows who's looked very effective this year to level. I mean, he is capped, but he certainly could be a nice number 5 starter for this team. Absolutely. But the thing about that is too is like there's 5 guys that might be better than himself, you know. And now Barco coming up here, like there's a lot of talented arms, and also the one thing about the arms now with Barco being here, they're all on the major league roster. Now, granted, Barco's not going to have like a lot of run per se, but like every pitcher going into next year that's going to fight for the rotation is now in the major leagues. Like there's no real like, hey, there's 3 prospects. They're all here. That's kind of interesting.
There's also Jared Jones coming back. I
Yeah.
mean, they do. They have some guys they can do some things with. Whether that be trading some of them, whether that be putting them into a different role, whether that just be putting them back down in AAA and keeping them stretched out as depth pieces. And Gregory here in the chat mentions Thomas Harrington as well. He's just the forgotten child here. And
Yeah, and like
I
he
know
was one of
he's
those guys. He was talented. You looked at him, but this year, obviously in the major leagues, but that's not really my biggest takeaway because guys struggle in the majors. But even in
mhm.
AAA, he had some struggles. So I'm not so sure about Harrington right now. Like he to me is more of like just a depth piece.
But looking back maybe 5 years ago, this team's counting on Thomas Harrington to come up and pitch some legitimate major league innings coming into 2026. If
Potentially.
they had if they had the same roster they had then, at least
Mhm.
pitching wise,
Oh,
Thomas
my bad.
Harrington's
I
good.
misheard what you said.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
like 5 years ago, we're like banking on Thomas Harrington to figure it out and be a productive major league pitcher. Right now, he's kind of like icing on the cake with it. You you hope he can figure it out, and I do think he can. I like the stuff enough, but you're not having to count on him like you would have in years past. Obviously, there's still a lot of warts with this team, a ton of them. They're in a good spot pitching wise, and we're really seeing that throughout these last couple months. They're in a good spot there.
Very much, man. Oh yeah.
Now, please stay healthy. Please stay
And
healthy.
that's just like part of it. We know it's not gonna happen. That's why you need the depth. That's why the whole Mitch Keller argument is a very valid argument. But the risk, I think, again, I'm going to keep saying it all off season. I mean, I would much rather have Mitch Keller here, absolutely. But given the understanding of what the constraints are, the restrictions that's going to be put upon here, what they have to do to go out there to really make themselves a contender, it just makes too much sense of trading Mitch Keller. It frees up some salary space for them to reallocate those funds as well. Probably get a piece back also, and just hopefully you will roll out there again, even without Mitch Keller. Paul Skenes is the dude. You have Bubba Chandler, who looks every bit of a dude. Then there's Braxton
Mhm.
Ashcraft, who looks really competitive as well. I understand that he's been somewhat limited, right? Like it's not like he's put a full year in. He wasn't as touted as Bubba Chandler, who you expect to be, very good next year, but he looks every bit as good. And then Oviedo, you've seen what he's done. He's come back and he's looked pretty fast. There is certainly a whole pipeline of pitchers, Burrows, and then Barco, to some level. Like he is there.
Mhm.
And, doesn't mean you can't sign another crafty lefty in the offseason for like $5, $6, $7 million or something. Like they add another piece here. So you there it is. There's the chapstick.
I can't help it.
So yeah, like I feel like the risk reward is certainly one where you make the move for Mitch Keller for a deal that makes sense. Um, and again, it's all because of the pitching that you do have, and you've seen pretty much the entirety of it in the majors this year for some substantial point.
You have, and I go back to what I said. I think maybe at the beginning of last year, you have the hard part figured out. If you can just somehow figure these bats out, the next GM, it's a nice little selling point to him. Someone mentioned it in the chat. It's a nice selling point if they were to move on from Ben Sherrington. You can probably get a legitimate general manager here because the pitching side, it's done. You're pretty much good there.
It's I'm not going to feel bad by any means, but it is kind of like a situation where like Ben Charrington was like the starter GM. You have someone in here that comes and finish the job. I mean, Ben did not do enough to make this team a competent team. But Ben has done enough to supply the next GM a lot of fun toys.
Yeah.
So like the next like you're saying, I mean, it is true. Like there are certainly restrictions. I mean, that next GM is going to come in and have to have Bob Nutting as his boss. And whatever incompetence that Bob wants to surround this next GM with. But at the same time, you have Paul Skenes. And you also have a kid named Connor Griffin that's coming up, depending on when you want to decide as the new GM and for him to be here. If you want to decide to give him a contract extension or not, right? It's all up to you now, Chen Barrington. we'll call the new GM because apparently there's going to be one. But regardless, like, yeah, there's a lot of toys. And then you said like the pitching, it's all there. Like hell, I can get some bats. Like again, like it's not going to happen, obviously, but like this is like the perfect situation for a Dave Dombrowski. Like he'd be like, yes, sign me up. And me,
God,
I'd be like,
I need
yes,
to find some old
sign
clips of
me
you
up
talking
also.
about him.
Give me Dave Dombrowski right now.
I can't believe you just said that.
Why?
Didn't you used to just trash him constantly? I'm going back to
No,
the
it was Dave
Nardis
Stewart.
dugout days. Dave Stewart, that was the one.
Dave Stewart was my guy. So
Okay.
when I saw him in DC at the winter meetings, I took some pictures, and that was my dinner dugout days. And yes, like Dave Stewart,
I mixed up the dates.
he was on that level like Ben Cherington with me.
Yeah,
but he didn't last 6 years.
I'm going NBA, and I know I don't watch it, but like 76ers mode. You brought the guy in to rebuild with and tank with. Now go get the real GM.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Like
you see it all the time.
Ben was a good starter GM.
Yeah, exactly. Like you do see it all the time. You see it maybe not at the GM level, but you definitely see it at the manager level when you're, rebuilding. You have guys that you bring in that build up the young guys. They're going to lose a lot of games. Then you get rid of them. That's what we thought Derek Shelton would be. Then you bring in the real manager. I mean, the Cubs did it when they brought in Joe Madden.
Mm-hmm.
You rebuild, then you bring in the real guy. Do it with the GM here. He got you so far. He got you as far as he can get you. Let's get the next one. Yeah, Clint Hurdle, another one.
Right. Except not managers, GMs. That's the difference here. And I'm with you. And like I feel like Doug said it best. So yeah, if you haven't noticed, Doug's gonna have daily rants now. I'm excited. Today was a little memo to Bob Nutting about today's a good day to fire Ben Cherington, which naturally, if Doug's gonna start off rants, his first one's gonna be today's a great day to fire Ben Cherington, right? I mean, that just makes sense. But yeah, like what he mentioned today too is like, like not to take away everything from Ben. Like there are some parts he did well. And I agree. Like the pitching stuff has been, way better than I expected. I mean, it's been outstanding. Paul Skenes or not. I know Paul Skenes was there, and now because you've sucked so bad, you're gifted the number 1 pick overall, and you're a gifted Paul Skenes, which you still had to take. There was a lot of debate whether to or not. You did take him, and Paul Skenes like the best pitcher on the planet, so that helps. But even without Paul Skenes, what has been built here from whether it's been trades or development, by draft or whatnot, they've done very well on the pitching side. So like there is that part. And yes, Ben, kudos and congratulations to that. That's why you're the starter GM. You started this. Now we need the finisher, right? Now we need the guy that you trade away. Now we need David Bednar to come in and close this thing out. Which, by the way, he's doing a fantastic job in New York. For all the haters that say David Bednar is washed. Guess what? I told you so. Go ahead, Tyler. Tell him as well, because you did also.
Yeah.
Come on, Tyler. Be petty.
You know what? I'm just going to be annoyed by the fact that the Yankees fans, when David Bednar's closing out World Series games, they're going to claim Renegade, and it's just going to ruin my life. So no, I can't even be petty. I'm annoyed by that entire thing still.
Just saying.
Flores is cool.
Bednar was not washed.
No, definitely not
washed.
He
actually should still be a Pirate.
Or he should have
extended him. Laughed at for that as well. Should have extended him. He had all the opportunities this past offseason when you should have extended David Bednar. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get worked up tonight. Trying not to. We got how many games left?
So
how many games we got left? I don't know.
How many games we have left? 3.
Yeah. 3 left.
3 games.
I don't know. I'm done with post game, so I just I'm chilling now.
Are you?
I'm done.
Who's on with me tomorrow night?
I think it's Doug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Doug.
Damn, I'm about to be solo again.
No, you're on with Doug tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry, Dougie. Dougie's going to wear it
Naturally.
for us. Dougie's
Of
like
course it's
our
Doug and Doug.
2023 Pirates, where he's just eating
Right.
innings.
But I do want to talk about something also. And again, it's with this whole pitching depth, because I know there's been a lot of talking points this year, and rightfully so, but also misunderstood, that these guys, oh, of course, they're only going to go 5 innings. Of course. Can we get a pitcher that's going to go more than 5 innings? That's why I say rightfully so. Like, you know what? Like, Paul Skenes should be going more. But on the other end, it's design. Like, it's not Paul Skenes' problem. Ultimately, I mean, I know that efficiency hasn't been his best work still this year. He could still get more efficient, though he's still 8th in innings pitched in major leagues, right? He's still 8th in total innings pitched. Keep that in mind. But like, when the season's lost, do you want an Oviedo situation happening again? Like, you would hope they maybe learned from that. So maybe pulling them after 5 is maybe the best interest, especially when there's a lot of young arms, a lot of guys that haven't experienced a full workload and such. So yes, there has been a lot of debate about this whole 5 inning thing. And again, I think more of it is, of course, not the pitchers being inefficient and not effective to go more than 5. It's that the Pirates won't allow them to. But I'm kind of thinking about something here, Tyler. And this goes back to they were talking about the arms, the amount of arms. Now, there will be some injuries. I get it. And it'll play itself out. But at this point in time, when you look at the stable of arms, we'll even play it without Mitch Keller. We'll just, I'm under the assumption Mitch Keller gets traded, because that's ultimately probably what's going to happen, especially if Ben's there. Paul Skenes, Bubba Chandler, Braxton Ashcraft, Oviedo. Oh, that's 5, right? Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah, that's 5.
So there's 5 players. Carmen, like, think about I'm going to continue to call it like the Luis Ortiz role. Like that was kind of molded him. And we know how valuable that was, because he played in many roles. He was a starter, like when you needed to, like, make a spot start. He was that long innings guy. He was coming here for winning, whatnot. He was a Swiss Army knife. And they've done that with like Carmen Mlodzinski once they learned and got him out of the rotation, right? So Carmen Mlodzinski comes in, he does that. But I thought what was really, really cool, when Braxton Ashcraft came up, Tyler, they kind of had 2 of those guys in that role.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about on the post-game show, like how Don Kelly utilized both of those in that role, and like how that really just helped this bullpen, gave them a lot of options, right? I mean, how did you like having 2 of, like, again, like Ashcraft and Mlodzinski in there being bulk role guys and such?
Yeah, and I think here and there you can throw Burrows in there as well. Like he kind of mixed
Well, I'm
in
saying
that
we'll
bulk
get
role.
there, but like, how did you like those 2 in that role?
Those 2. So Mlodzinski, I love him in that role. That's probably the role he is made for. On the Ashcraft end, I like the fact that they did that with him, and more along the lines of I like that they did it with him because I think it's a good developmental tool.
Okay, and I agree with that too.
That's where I like the way they use Braxton Ashcraft this year. One, he's a guy that has battled some injuries throughout his career, a good bit of them. Really hasn't thrown many innings throughout it. But the stuff, love it. Absolutely love it. I really do think he can be a top end starting pitcher based on the stuff. I like using that to develop him. I mentioned the Brewers a billion times and how they've developed some starting pitchers, putting them in the bullpen. Pirates didn't quite do that with Ashcraft the way that the Brewers have done it with other guys, where they maybe 1-2 innings. Ashcraft got a little more of the bulk. I have no complaints about how they did any of that. And the other part I do like, and you mentioned Don Kelly and how he used them, it felt less random than when Derek Shelton would do it. It just felt like we were finding out the day of. With like Ashcraft and Mlodzinski, to me, you almost knew, like, this is going to be a day we're going to get 3-4 out of the starter, and then Ashcraft or Mlodzinski are going to come in. They're going to have 3 or 4 as well. With Shelton, when he was doing this last year and the year before, like, go back to Andre Jackson, guys like that,
Oh,
It was
yeah.
just let's throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. You know what? I got to get through this game. I don't know who's going to pitch today. We'll figure it out. A lot more controlled, I feel like they did with the starters this year, or the pitchers, I should say. That's what I liked.
Okay. So the reason I want to bring this up is because I feel like next year, even with all these pitchers, they're still young. They're still not fully equipped to like carry on a full workload because you brought up Ashcraft. I mean, this is going to be the most he's ever pitched. Can he get the 150 next year? Maybe. I think that's the goal. But also, if playoffs are involved, you're going to need him to pitch more than 150. I think Bubba is probably there, but Oviedo, like, he's still like, what's he going to pitch next year? Right? What's Burrow's going to pitch next year? Barco. You know what I mean? So I think you still have a lot of problems on managing innings next year. Does that also seem fair?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some there's going to be a lot of guys that you're going to have to be a little bit careful with.
I agree. I think it's Paul Skenes that you're comfortable with, and Bubba to some level, but I think that's it.
Oviedo, you're going to be careful with him as well, probably, but you're not as concerned, I guess.
No, that's fair. You're probably not as like he's not going to be like, okay, well, you only pitched this many innings this year. You only going to get 100 next year. Like he'll still get some, but he still hasn't really pitched for at that point almost like 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're still going to be careful with him. I feel like not as careful as like Ashcraft or Barco, but I think you're still like you're not saying here's go get us 200 innings.
No.
Right. So I think you're still going to find a lot of guys that might only go 5. And I guess what I'm getting at is when you have a plethora of pitchers and they're all starters. That's the thing too. Like outside of Carmen Majinski, though he was a starter, he certainly shows he should be a reliever, but he's very capable of being a 2 to 3 inning reliever. That one time through the lineup, he just completely crushes and dominates. Like he can absolutely be a 2 to 3 inning reliever. So I guess the way I'm thinking about it is when you look at MLB, so MLB as a whole, first time through the lineup, 707 OPS. Second time through the lineup, 727 OPS. Third time, 755, right? There's the numbers. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. But what I think the Pirates actually have something that they can cook up with here next year is what a lot of people would be pissed off about is the 5 and done. Like this is going to be by design, but I think also this can really play in the Pirates' favor. And walk with me, Tyler. You have Braxton Ashcraft. You want to monitor his limits. He's on a 5-inning cap next year. That's all you're doing. You make 30 starts, 5 innings. There's 150 innings. But now you got to get through 4 more innings, Tyler. At least 3 if you're at home. Oh, I'm sorry, away. Hopefully 4 there too in 26. But what I'm alluding to is what if you could have Carmen? You could have Barco. Hell, you might have Burrows when Jared Jones returns. This is something that like I really want people to understand this. Let me talk about this. I think a lot in this offseason. I don't think anything's given to Jared Jones to be in this rotation. Now, think back to what you said about, hey, 5 years ago, Thomas Harrington. 5 years ago, absolutely. Just last year, it was the Hundo boys. It was the talk of Paul Skenes and Jared Jones. It was, hey, in 2025, it's going to be Paul, Jared, Mitch, and then you slide down, right? The way this rotation is by actual true talent, and obviously the injury plays into Jared Jones. He's not going to come. He's not be ready for opening day, most likely. He's going to have to earn that spot back. It's not given to him. I don't know. And also with the injury, they might look at like the bulk role being a role for him for next year because I don't know. What I'm just going to say though is like I don't think anything's given to Jared Jones next year to be in this rotation. So you might have like 2 or 3 bulk guys. And what I'm getting to is if you want to help cap innings, which I think you're going to look into, instead of having Braxton Ashcraft face the lineup for the third time, right? League average, a 755 OPS. You have someone like a Carmen Mlodzinski come in here. We know how good he is facing the first time through the lineup. And actually, damn it, I just had the numbers up. The first time through the order, he has a 604 OPS. If he can go 3 innings, 2 innings, you just need your closer, Santana, and like your setup guy, and there's the game. And you've replaced Braxton Ashcraft going for the third time through the lineup, right? Going to be a 700 plus, maybe closer to 800 with Ashcraft, right? OPS. And you're replacing with Carmen Mlodzinski. And the next day, you're doing the same thing with Oviedo, maybe, and you're doing it with Hunter Barco. And then Burrows. And I'm not saying every day. I'm not saying this is going to be a
Piggyback?
like a true piggyback. But I think Don Kelly's going to have a lot of options. And the way he used Ashcraft and Mlodzinski this year inspires me this way. And I like this. And it's going to give guys like you mentioned, Barco, the development in that role. Kind of how they did with Ashcraft this year to get this start. You know, like I think it's going to be helpful for guys like Barco. I think it'll be helpful for guys like Ashcraft as well. I don't know, man. I really like this idea of having like 7 starters and putting 2 of them in a bulk role. I mean, Carmen Mlodzinski's pitched 99 innings this year.
I hate the fact that I don't hate it. Because, like, I want to hate it so much. I hate the quote-unquote piggyback role. And it's not really a piggyback role that they're really doing.
Right.
Like, these guys are going 5 innings. Like, that's a start in 2025. That's a normal outing. But then having another guy be able to go 3, maybe 4. I really hate the fact that I don't hate it, dude. And like the other part of it, you don't have to burn $10 million on an Aroldis Chapman for an 8th inning. You don't have to burn money in the pen. Like, the one thing that I can see maybe being an issue is if someone gets hurt, just having someone stretched out, and eventually the depth will start to really become an issue. And if you have like a Hunter Barco getting starts in AAA, he's going to be stretched out a good bit more. The other part of it is like it's hard to control those types of things, like keeping guys on a schedule. Because, like, let's say Braxton Ashcraft is just absolutely dealing, and he goes 6 innings, 7 innings, then you have to go to another guy, and it's not the guy you were planning on piggybacking. Then you're kind of skipping a spot for him.
But I do, and the only reason I'm interjecting here is because I don't want this looked at as like piggyback. Because again, like when he had Ashcraft and Mlodzinski at his disposal, he wasn't piggybacking. But if today I need 3 out of Carmen give me 3. And now he might be done. But maybe the next day, Braxton, I only need 1 out of you, or in 2 days. Like it wasn't like these guys have to be 3-inning guys. They're in the bullpen, but they have the ability to pitch 3 innings if you need so. And again, like if Carmen pitched 3 today and maybe you need 3 more tomorrow, well, Braxton hasn't pitched in a few days and he can do it. So Braxton, I need you today. Go and do it. And hopefully, again, the next start, it's Paul Skenes. And, like you having like the regular bullpen, like it just gives you a lot of options. And one of the options is I have 2 or 3 guys in this bullpen that are ready to go for 3 innings at any moment. And the fact that you have like 3 of them means like, I mean, you're not going to use 2 of them one game, right? So like every 3rd day, really, I guess every 4th day, like the next man's up, like should be ready per se. But again, like they're not going to be used every single day for 3 innings. It just allows you the options. Now, again, it's not going to be everyone also. Like Paul Skenes is there should be no restrictions. Like when a Paul Skenes start is going on, those guys shouldn't and probably won't be used. But to the point here as well about, as Greg says, it shortens the bullpen. If Ashcraft goes 5 and Carmen gives you 3, all you need Santana and the game's over. Everybody else in that bullpen never saw the field.
Santana's getting traded.
I don't know.
That was a Doug thing I was throwing out there for, because Doug is completely against that. Doug's
That's
completely
tomorrow's
against
rant.
trading it.
Doug's just going to go in on Tyler. I hate this son of a bitch.
Now, with that being said, I think a part of this that would be a key is Paul Skenes. Like, he's the major key of it, and having him be able to, he's got to go get 6, 7. Like, we can't have the starts where he's going throwing 4. The other problem I could see with it is it puts some stress on some of those guys that you're hoping to get 3 innings out of, because they might go 3 and they're used to being a starter, and then all of a sudden they got to go like twice in 3 days, 2 in 4 days. Things they're not used to.
Okay.
So that I'm guessing that might be an issue, but on paper, it makes a lot of sense. You need a good manager who can maneuver it.
And that's why I do go back. When Don Kelly was using Ashcraft and Majinski, who were both in that role, I thought he was using them fantastically. I thought they were both real weapons, and like it put this team in really advantageous positions with the starters, the bullpen. And again, you were kind of saving those arms because those guys could give you what you needed and not having to have 4 pitchers go out there and pitch today. Right? You might only need Carmen and 1 other, or 2 other. Like they save the bullpen because they can give you those bulk innings. And again, like that's why I thought Luis Ortiz was a real weapon last year in the way they used him. And for Carmen to take on that role this year and then to add another one to the bullpen, it kind of stood out. And I thought that was really, really creative in how they used them. I thought it really helped out. So like going into next year, I just think the talent level of all this, I think it's a great way of allowing Barco. I think Barco makes a lot of sense. Also him being a lefty and Majinski being a righty. But I think Barco makes a lot of sense because this is a way of getting him. You're going to really watch his innings still because he just pitched over 100 for the first time in his professional career, his last time out. Maybe this is a way of doing so and developing him at the same time at the major league level. And hey, if the injury happens, you have, a guy that can slide in.
The funny thing is we've kind of been talking about this for a very long time. I remember talking about Will Craig doing this possibly. Like we thought about Will Crow. Sorry. Will Crow. We talked about Will Crow possibly doing this. Like being that multi-inning reliever. And like I'll bring him up again, like Chris Davinsky with the Astros.
Yes.
Like that was always the thought I had in my brain of like a bullpen guy that can just be what Carmen Majinski basically has been. Because that's really that type of guy that Majinski's been to this point.
You could argue Davinsky was like the MVP for the Astros in that series.
I mean, he like throughout that regular season, he was like a 3-win player out of the bullpen.
Yeah. As a non-closer bullpen pitcher.
Right. But as we're talking about this, but as we're talking about this, the Pirates have 2 or 3 guys that can do that. One, you got to get the buy-in. That's a big part because starters want to be starters. You need a strong manager to do this. And you need a smart manager to do this. They got to be able to maneuver it, but they also have to be able to get that buy-in from these guys. The buy-in is going to be a difficult part because everybody wants to be a starter. That's how you get paid.
Well, the buy-in is easy. And let me tell you why. you're the Paul whisperer. That's what you need to be as the manager. They all look up to Paul. They have a lot of respect for Paul. And you're like, Paul, come step me over here. Here's what I need to do. First off, do you believe in this? Because I think we can really do something. Paul buys in. He's going to make sure those guys buy in because we need to make some sacrifices. We need to do what it takes to win next year. And if this is the formula to win, you're going to shut your mouth and you're going to do it. Now, come work out with me and play some baseball. Anyways, again, I'm with you. Like, this isn't easy, but I do think the Pirates, we talk about a lot too. Like, when they won before, they were creative. They found ways to do things differently. And they have a plethora of riches to some level at their disposal, and maybe using it creatively can really help them out this year. Again, this isn't also something that's just like cutting edge. Like, the Dodgers don't pitch more than 5 or 6 innings either.
Right.
But of course they have like 10 starters, like they buy them, of course, a lot of them, and
They're
they
being
manage
paid
the
a lot of
IL.
money. These are guys on rookie deals.
Right. But like, in a sense, I mean, this is like what the Dodgers kind of do. Like, they don't have, you go out there and you give me 5 max innings because that's you at your best. It's not going 7. It's going 5 hard. And I'm not asking for Braxton to go 5 hard in that sense, but like, the numbers don't lie. Like, when you face the lineup for the 3rd time, you're worse, just like you're worse the 2nd time, but the 1st time. So if you can eliminate the 3rd time and you have these other guys that come in and now it's their 1st time, right? You're getting the best of them. You can go out there and maybe win some ball games if you can execute.
I don't know. We're going 5 hard 3 times. It's better the first time. I mean, personally, speaking for myself, I think 4 hard's good enough.
We're doing it for The Rock.
All right, Rikishi. Love that. But no,
Talk on the broadcast booth.
They have options. Again, you got to get the buy-in. I think that's going to be the major stepping stone here, is just getting people to believe in the unconventional.
Well, Tyler, we talk about things that make good managers. This is one of them.
It is.
It's not so much the X's and O's on the field. It's this type of stuff. Clint Hurdle having everyone outside of AJ Burnett buying into their philosophy is really what helped that 2013 team. Because if they didn't buy into the stuff they were doing, you don't see 2013 happen. Clint Hurdle having everyone buy into, like, listen, sounds stupid, but hear me out. Here's what we're going to do. And they did it because.
And you guys need to keep believing.
You just got to believe. That's how Jared Sherlock is playing so well as well. If you just believe, right? It's like when you watch Elf and that Christmas spirit, right? If you just believe, you can get this sleigh off the ground and the Pittsburgh Pirates will be delivering presents to everyone's stockings come playoff time.
Hey, nobody believed in the shift until they saw it work. Guys didn't believe in on-base percentage till it worked.
It works so well that they banned it.
Yeah.
They banned the shift. You just got to believe.
Exactly. In all reality, we say that jokingly, but honestly, yes. You got to get these guys to believe in whatever you're selling. That's the biggest part.
And I feel like that's been the problem since 13, 14, 15. When you see like Tyler Glasnow go off in Tampa, and it's basically, well, they're telling me the same thing. It's because it's lack of communication, it's lack of being able to sell what you're trying to speak. So yeah.
You know what might help them though?
Just believe. What's that?
This new ABS system.
I am excited for the ABS system, Tyler.
Makes sense. The way they're doing it makes sense as well. Only having a certain amount of challenges, not going full blown robo umps. I like it. It's hard not to like it. Like I don't want the human element out of the game at all. I still think it matters. I like what it brings behind the plate, especially like the value you can get out of a catcher. There's still value there, and it still makes it important. There's still an art to the game. It's just eliminating the super stupid things. And like I get it. Umpires are human. You're gonna miss some calls. But my God, some of these guys suck. Like, if we can fix a few of the extra sucky ones, I don't have a complaint whatsoever.
I'm with you. I like it a lot. I like it because I don't think it's going to impact the game speed at all. I've seen it firsthand watching my local Jacksonville
it in
Jumbo
spring.
Shrimp games. It's exciting. Like, I think it actually creates a good fan experience also. I feel like this is a win-win. I know Rob Manfred has gotten a lot of hate. Some things are still dumb, but I do think a lot of things that were implemented actually was beneficial. And we talk about a lot. I mean, the pitch clock. Oh dear God.
Changing.
Everyone's going to get injured. This is terrible. Don't take away my baseball. And then we watch games and it's like, oh dear God, what were we thinking? This is amazing. This game's over already. And it just, some things are good. And what I do like about this is I think it's a win-win. You still have the human element. You still have the umpires here. It's not just straight ABS because catching is a craft. And I will say this, like that is a true skill. That is something there is poetry watching catchers a lot of times and just the battery work, and like, I would hate to eliminate that. Guys work their ass off to be able to really perfect that. It's an art form. I don't want to see that gone. But at the same time, I also don't want to see a strike three end a game that was clearly not in the strike zone. So like we have the challenge system for other things. Why can't we have it for balls and strikes? So again, it's very quick. There's no like, oh, we're going to New York to review this. The system knows. You see it on TV. There's nothing to judge. It just tells you, hey, that looked like a ball. You tap your head, they challenge it, and on the screen pops up and says it was a strike. And it's like, okay, next pitch. Again, like nothing taken away. But the fans, it creates a fun fan environment. And of course, if you're a smart business person, like maybe not so much in PNC Park, but if they're smart business people, here's my challenge to you, Travis Williams. Make it fun. Make it a thing. For the 12 people in the stands, like, let's have a good time with it. And like, that's what you see, and then the crowd goes crazy, whatever, like make it a thing. So it's fun for the fans. They're engaged with it. And it gets ultimately the play right when it matters. You can only have 2 losses. If you win it, it keeps coming, right? So you still have to be like strategic. You don't want to do it all the time. You don't want to be Spencer Jones. We see a changeup go right down the middle and challenge it because you don't know what a strike is. That's why you're not a good prospect. But I digress. Like you don't want to just use it all willy-nilly, but like at a big moment, here's the time to do it. And that strike turns into a ball and you take your base, like instead of striking out into the game, it's big. It's crucial. You got it right.
Yeah, there's been too many times where we've seen like runner on second, runner on third, bases loaded, whatever it is, where you have, like you have a blown call that ends an inning in a big moment. It's a chance to get rid of that. The other part I like is with the universal DH, which I don't hate at all. I did hate it. I don't hate it anymore. Brings a little more strategy back to the game. Like you're not sitting on your hands the whole game anymore. Even as a manager, like you have a little more influence. I know it's not their call, but gives them a little more influence on the game. Just gives you another thing to coach. Because you
Yeah.
have to coach this. You can't waste these. So I like it. I don't see the negative in it. I think it's the perfect way to use it.
I do too. Again, I have no hatred towards this at all. No qualms. I think it's great. And I do love who said it. I just had it up here. There you go, Travis Williams. So, as Rob says, ABS review is brought to you by. I think you meant Surfside. Yeah, Stateside.
Probably.
But yeah, you're gonna have the Surfside ads presented by ABS. It's another marketing tool. It's another
It
way
is.
to make money.
Why not? I mean, everybody else does it. Why not? Why not us?
Actually, how much money do we
Yeesh.
think it is? Now, as plants,
Probably out of my price range.
as plants for the Pittsburgh Pirates, do you think we can get a cut in this?
No.
Could it be the ABS challenge brought to you by North Shore 9?
Are you hiding money somewhere? Is Jonquil rich?
No. I mean, she might be. I'm not. She might be. That's why I'm not.
Well, I'm not.
Anyways, yeah, again, I like this. I think it ultimately gets the thing right. Somebody here put, Ono Cruz is going to blow a lot of those as well. Actually, like that. I think like Ono Cruz could actually benefit from this. Now, he might be the type that sets a challenge and it was clearly a strike. But like, how many times
they'll
have
do
you
it
seen?
twice in a bat and get them both wrong?
You know what? The second he does, the funny thing about we like this. This is gonna definitely get O'Neal Cruz ran out of town.
Oh, for sure.
If you don't hate him already, wait till the first time he challenged it when it was a strike and he gets it wrong.
He's gonna be up there at bat like.
But like, how many times have you seen that ball? I mean, he's super tall.
Yeah.
How many times you see that ball below the strike zone? It's called a strike. Now you challenge it, it's a ball. Like, he could actually benefit from this. Now, yes, I do agree that he doesn't have the greatest recognition, so he's probably going to blow a couple challenges.
Is Don Kelly?
Cruz the type where he's just like going to tap his helmet, not asking for a challenge, but they're going to challenge it, and he's like, I didn't even want to. I just needed some more tar. I don't. What's happening?
Yeah, that's going to be someone's going to accidentally challenge something, and it's going to be a thing.
It's going to be Cruz. Like, it has to be.
It'll be a
rightfully
pirate.
So it's going to be Cruz.
But from what I gathered, like, it's got to be instantaneous, right? Like,
it does. I think they have like 2 seconds.
Yeah. So another thing,
and it can't from a coach, a crowd. Like,
you can't turn around and look, and
the pitcher, the hitter, or the catcher.
Yeah. So I like that about it as well. That will make me lose my mind. Nathan mentioned G1 Bay will challenge Ace. Nathan mentioned G1 Bay will challenge a strike right down the middle and say it was a ball. I will lose my stuff.
Okay. So now think about this aspect, right? Think about all like there's going to be moments like you're talking about. Like, we're thinking about this an aspect of like a ball strike and you're right, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, how many times the player is going to screw and we're just going to go off. And it's not just like just baseball, just people, fans in general, right? Someone in Boston is going to make a call that's going to, like, that was a stupid challenge. Now we have none left and you're such an idiot. Like, it's just going to create so much this environment of just engagement. I love it. We're going to hate Base so much next year the second he does it too.
Oh, for sure.
And it's going to be a fun time. Thank you, ABS. Presented by North Shore 9.
At some point, I'm going to realize how to actually like respond to comments in here without responding to everything, but it's fine.
Anywho.
But yeah, I like it. I like what it brings, and also like I'm excited to kind of see Paul Skenes do it a little bit because he's so smart. Like he's going to get a couple calls.
Yeah, I'll say one thing though. One thing I've kind of been noticing of late.
He
Paul's
get
already that dude that like
He's
the
getting
umps
a few.
just give him the calls.
He-
It's going to
he
be
is
the other
getting a
way
few.
around.
It might be. Hey, you only get two.
He's already earned that from the umps,
Don't
which
waste
is
them.
good. Paul's good.
But he's Paul, and if he has one overturned against him, it's going to piss him off more, and he's going to throw 102.
That again, you wouldn't have that if ABS wasn't here. Yeah, actually,
Right.
Paul's gonna get pissed. Strike 3, they missed it by that much. ABS makes it a ball. Oh, he's gonna be so pissed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so pissed. I hate whoever challenged that.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, actually, as a matter, I'm on the batter's box, and Paul, you know what, sir? That was a strike. Good call. I'm walking out.
They're going
I
to
don't
be
wanna see this next
no.
pitch.
Are you sure? No, that ball was a strike. Actually, challenge. Get me out of here.
Yeah, but again, to kind of wrap this up, I do like the ABS. I think fans will. If you're against it, I'm very confident that by some point of next year, you're going to enjoy it. I think it is a very enjoyable aspect of it. Again, like at the ball game, I think it's fun. I think it gets things right ultimately. I think it's done well enough where it doesn't take away from the game. And then again, like you have to be strategic still to some level. So I think it's going to be really, really good for the game. I think it's going to be good for viewing it, right? Consuming baseball. I think it's going to be good all around.
I agree. I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, anything else we want to discuss, talk about, wrap this up?
No, I'm good. I think I've talked enough Buccos for the last 3 days. I'm excited for the off season.
I am too.
I'm excited for a fresh start here.
3 more games against the Braves, who are red hot, apparently, out of nowhere. So yeah, they'll be playing in Atlanta, and then it's a season. So all the good teams will have fun in the postseason, and we'll be planning NS9 fanboys. We'll be planning our Arizona Fall League trip. We'll be planning post game or podcast, but not watching the Pirates and our favorite baseball team in the playoffs like others. But at any rate, yeah, let's get out of here. 3 games left, guys. It's crazy.
It's been a long year.
We'll be back though. Tomorrow it's Doug and I, apparently, for game 1.
If
of this
not,
last series.
I'll jump on. We'll see.
Just jump on in.
I'll be in the chat. Worst case scenario. I got a high school football game to go watch.
We'll just next 3 games we'll just have a big party. We're just gonna have the
There we
NS9
go.
hangout for the post game.
There we go.
Like, subscribe, join our Patreon, join our memberships, do all the fun stuff. Go watch our videos. Go watch Doug's new rants. It's on it's on everything: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, right here as a short. So, we love you all as always. So, we'll see you 3 more times for the post games, and then the rest of the offseason will start. Can't wait. Bye.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.